Here we go. All right, ladies, I want to welcome you guys to another self love conversation. My name is Gloria Ward, and I'm the founder of the I'm Loving Me Project. Yes, we are broadcasting at 4 p.m. You know why? Because we are talking about Black History Month this month. And because we are talking about Black History this month, we have a young lady in the house, a young woman who is a motivator, an entrepreneur, and an activist. And I want everybody to go ahead and just make sure you give this young lady some good kudos because she's doing so many amazing things with her business and in the company. And I'm going to let her introduce herself so that she can tell you just all the things that she is doing. But introduce yourself, let them know, Miss Alejandra Stack. Let them know exactly what you do.
All right. Well, hi everyone. My name is Alejandra Stack. I am pretty much 16 years old and I am an actress. I've been on some Tyler Perry movies and you may have seen me on The Walking Dead. I was there for a couple seasons as well as a bunch of other really cool stuff. I'm now a published author. I have my book. It's called Activate Your Activism. And what it does is basically kind of explains, what my passion is for and how I, kind of found my passion, especially during the George Floyd protests that were earlier in 2020, almost that summer type of segment. So it kind of gives an inside scoop on my experience going to the protest and kind of, just seeing everything and being able to kind of experience that as well as it helps other people kind of discover what they're passionate about. And it gives you ways that you can kind of, work on your passion to basically just let your voice be heard. And I'm also an entrepreneur. I have my own business. I'm CEO and founder of Kid Newsmaker. And Kid Newsmaker is a multimedia platform that basically highlights anyone under the age of 18 who's doing amazing things, whether they're young scholars, young entrepreneurs, young authors, anything like that. And what it does is it basically just helps kids find inspiration in their own peers. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Now, let me tell you why I keep cheesing, right? I keep cheesing and I keep smiling because I'm saying to myself, you mentioned so many words. The main word that you mentioned is passion, right? Being able to find your passion, being able to know what you want to do in life. Now, you said after you went to the Joyce Floyd protests and all that stuff, that's where you found yours. So, my question to you is so that you can let everybody know, how did you know that that was your passion? What is it that clicked for you at that moment where you said, you know what, this is what I want to do?
All right. Well, so like I said, the protests or whatever, those were kind of in I guess the June months or whatever of 2020. But even prior before then, I've had an interest for just Black history and just the amazing things that Black people do. When I was about 12 or 11, I was the NAACP Youth Chapter President for my our little chapter in the county that I was in. And going with that, I remember, we had so many different field trips where we would go out and kind of, see all these amazing things that Black people were doing. And it kind of shocked me because, a lot of the history that we do get in regular traditional school, it's, really whitewashed. We don't hear about a lot of things. Every Black History Month was always MLK and Rosa Parks. Everyone knows about them, but there's just so much more that people don't know about. So also, like, now I'm homeschooled, so I kind of, my mom, she gets to help me, I guess, direct on what I actually learn about. And
Right.
so just seeing the amazing things that Black people are doing, it's crazy just to know, these are the masterminds behind so many inventions that we use today, so many things. So I think I've always just had that, spark. It's something that I've always wanted to learn more about. And I think definitely when I was there in the moment of the protest, when I was there and I kind of felt, all that energy, it definitely, woke something up inside me because I was like, when I looked around, it was a lot of kids that were kind of my age. It was like a lot of younger people, and I feel like, this is something that we're going to be growing up into. So I think it would be best for my generation to kind of, be the change that we want to see that future or that older generations kind of envisioned. And I feel like, we could be the ones to kind of, play it out and be that difference and the change for generations after us.
And when you say that you had this feeling when you were out there, because we saw what you guys were doing on the news. We saw, how involved young people were. You being out there on the front lines, what was that feeling like for you? Was it more anger? Was it more inspiration? Did you feel like every day that you went out that you were actually making a difference? How were you feeling particularly about the whole situation as you were out there helping and protesting?
So definitely like when you're out there, it was just, this almost unexplainable energy. It was like, a bit of anger mixed with passion, mixed with inspiration, everything like that. So it was just like a plethora of emotions that were kind of just going on. And I don't know, like something really just like took over. And I remember like I did some interview, someone asked me like, can you ask you a couple of questions? And I literally just like said everything that came to my mind. And it was like no way to kind of prepare for that. So I feel like it was, definitely just really indescribable, but it was an amazing feeling, It was definitely kind of that built up anger that not only I felt, but that, older generations have felt that kind of, traveled through me because I feel like, sometimes other people can't really use their voices or don't know how to use their voices correctly. So I feel like if I had that platform or the ability to kind of, say what's been unspoken for other people, then I think that that could help, just tremendously. So that was kind of, what that whole feeling was.
Yeah, and so you out there and you discovered that this is something that you want to do for the rest of your life. And now you are a business owner. You're speaking out, you're an actress, you're doing so many things. How are you managing it all and still being able to be this 16-year-old kid? Because, most of us old folks always say, stay a child as long as you can.
Right.
Right? Make sure that you are enjoying your life because you don't want to have any regrets. Are you still being that kid while you are focused on everything that you're doing?
Yeah, and I feel like, there's really no such thing as like a 100% true balance. I feel like, especially since I'm homeschooled now, it gives me a lot more opportunity to be able to focus on my business and activities like that. But, I genuinely do enjoy, kind of talking to people and letting them know, my opinions on different things. So it's not really so much of it as it feels like a work and a regular life type of thing. I kind of just, have to mix it all together. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to meet like minded peers. So other kids my age that are doing, really great and amazing things as well that are kind of, headed on that track for you. You don't have to wait to get a job or start getting money or an income and things like that. So fortunately, a lot of my friends do have that same type of mindset. So I think that's what kind of balances out because, when I get to do all these different events, especially like pre-corona, when we, went to different events like that, I would also see a lot of my other younger friends there as well. So yeah.
Where does your strength come from and your boldness?
Honestly, I really don't know. It's probably because of my mom.
Mhm.
She's, she's also a journalist and that's kind of what I do as well. So I think, just kind of being around her, especially when I was younger, she used to always have me with her during interviews and I would just get lost and start talking like these super famous people. I was like 6, I had no idea who they were. So I think that definitely, comes from her and just kind of her just giving me that exposure when I was so young. But also, I don't know, I'm just really vocal about a lot of stuff. You could say I talk a lot, whatever. It's just, I guess, kind of almost my natural personality. I don't know. I just always like to, not really argue, but I guess kind of debate. So, yeah.
And so that's my next question. So when you look at the world, in your world particularly, and you look at everything around you, what are some of the things that you plan on changing or want to change as you're growing up in this new era? What are some of your dreams and your visions that you are going to embark, and how will the world know who Alejandra Stack is?
So, I kind of, with my business with Kid Newsmaker, I definitely want to get that, across. Currently, like it's been in certain schools and like that, but I definitely want to get it, kind of pretty much everywhere. Like it's been international, it's been in different countries like that. But I just, want to make it available for other kids to see that, this kid looks like me and they're doing these amazing things. They're getting, money from doing something that they're passionate about. So why can't I do that? I think that representation definitely matters, especially, seeing especially like with the election, seeing Kamala Harris as vice president, whether you agree with her policies or stance or anything, it's just amazing to see someone like that in that position of power because it gives other kids like hope. Because like, a person like I'm Bahamian, so is my mom, and they've had a bunch of black women, black men in prominent, powerful positions, but in the U.S., there's definitely been a lack of that. So I think that just by seeing that, definitely that representation. So with me personally, I just kind of, I don't know. I feel like there's not really a lack of communication in the world, but more of a lack of comprehension. So, because you can talk to someone all day, and they can kind of hear what you're saying, but if they don't understand it, then it's really no point. You're just wasting your breath. So I feel like a lot of things, a lot of like representations, hearing things coming from like certain people could make a whole difference. So I feel like if I could reach out to kids, if kids feel more comfortable talking to me than they would by hearing this long drawn out speech from an adult, then I think that that's how I could help kind of change and how I can impact other kids' lives.
So we make long, drawn out speeches.
No, no, no.
I'm
It's just
kidding.
sometimes,
I'm kidding. And so, just being in your world and in your mind, what is it that you as a young person and your peers are looking for today? What inspires you? Like what do you guys feel the world is going to be when you get older?
I feel like I definitely can't speak for all people my age or whatever, but
Right.
with me personally, I guess I kind of I take inspiration from really everything, like random people that I meet. They inspire me pretty much every day. So I think like everyone that I've run into or come across is like impacted my life in some sort of way. And I feel like that's how it is for almost, a lot of people really. Because I feel like, you could be out having a super horrible day and like one person compliments you, like a random person you don't know just compliments you, and that can, change the whole dynamic of your day and how you're thinking. So I think that definitely something that I do want to see in the world moving forward is just, a lot more kindness because, you never know what people are going through. And I feel like, if you're just kind to everyone, you don't know what difference that can make in someone's life. So I think that's definitely what I want to see. And that's also, kind of what I'm inspired by. Like, I love hearing those sappy stories, about, I don't know, puppies get saved, something like that. I feel like just that kindness, someone going out of their way to kind of help others, that, it definitely inspires me. So I think that kind of inspires everyone. And that everyone has that little soft spot.
Right. And so, do you see yourself growing up to be an activist, or is it going to turn into being a lawyer or a judge or anything like that? Or the path that you on is the path that you know that you want to continue? And do you want to continue to act?
I definitely do want to continue to act. It has been really slow right now, because of COVID. So a
Mhm.
lot of sets have been closed, but it's kind of starting to pick back up. So I definitely do want to act more in the future. As far as like a career path with activism, a lot of people have been asking me this. They're like, "Oh my God, you're gonna run for like city council or something?" And
Yeah.
honestly, like at this point, I feel like if it does happen, and like I'm just motivated to kind of make that change or whatever, then it's definitely something that I'll do. But for right now, I kind of just see myself more. Hmm. I don't know. Honestly, whatever happens, has happened. I feel like right now, at this point, I just kind of want to continue doing what I am doing. So just, kind of speaking or whatever. But like definitely in the future, I feel like if I do feel like it's needed, then I can probably, definitely like run for some political office, I guess.
Hmm. And the reason why I ask is because, usually that's the path most people take where you start to understand as you get older that if you really want to make change, then you have to be able to influence the law, right? And you have to be able to, influence policy and things like that. So
Right.
a lot of people who are passionate about something feel that their voice becomes not enough once you get to a certain point, right? But what I also want to ask you, because we are a platform for women where we make sure that we take care of ourselves, right? Self-care is something that is big, but self-care for us is focusing on our mind and focusing on not only where we're trying to go, but making sure that we love ourselves. And what we ask people, and what we ask a lot of women is, what do you see when you look in the mirror? So when you look at yourself, what is it that you see looking back at you when you look in the mirror?
Honestly, like it's not really so much as I'm seeing myself. It's more of I'm seeing, kind of other people that have affected me in my life that, have kind of almost raised me to be the person that I am today. So I definitely feel like I'm looking back at, a bunch of like other beautiful women that have helped me grow into this person that I am right now. And I definitely, look back at a lot of, prominent figures as well. Like I know when I was younger, I had a really not really an obsession, but it was almost, like a really drive. As I said, like for Black History, and I know it was like this one time I was just obsessed with Ida B. Wells for like a month or something. And, she was a Black journalist, one of the founders of the NAACP. And that, kind of just, I feel like I almost not really see her, but I see, some things that she's done, kind of how it's affected me. So when I look back, I definitely see a lot of like passion. I see a lot of drive, things like that. So
Do you see so what you're saying is you see a lot of people who have paved the way for you in you that you can see yourself doing those things,
right,
right? That's cool. I like that because that's usually how it starts. I can tell you this, as you get older and you start to explore, you will also start to see those things in you that you want to accomplish for yourself. Because one of the things that we want to stay focused on is making sure that we stay grounded in ourselves, in our beliefs, and what we know to be true for ourselves, right? Because uh, the kind of work that you're doing, it is something that takes a lot of dedication, a lot of reading, and it's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. And you have to be able to be prepared for both the good and the bad, right? And
right,
and I know, you young people don't like the long drawn out speeches, but that's only because we went through we went through the stuff and we want to make
yeah,
sure that the tree don't fall on you, just a little bit of branches that hit you, but you still be able to run, right?
right.
So 16 right now, you're working on your business, you're doing your acting, you're doing all these amazing things, right? And how do you envision what this world is going to be for yourself? Are you thinking about married or whatever, or none of that concerns you right now?
Right now, I'm definitely like not really too focused on that. I definitely, do have the future in mind, of course, but I feel like as of right now, I just, I'm kind of, I guess, living in the moment. But yeah, so I guess that's
That's the
more,
best way to live. That's
yeah,
the best way to live because it allows you to go ahead and just figure out what you're going to do next at this moment and at this particular time. And the only reason why I asked that question is because if you think too far ahead, it might be some disappointments, right? Because
right, yeah,
everybody has this idea on what their life should be, right? But if you're living in a moment and you understand that life is every moment, you get to take you get to take it in and you get to enjoy it, right? And you get to see what the good, the bad, and the ugly is, but you also get to see you, right? You get to see
right.
how strong you are, right? So I applaud you and I appreciate you. And I think that I can't wait for this old lady to see exactly what you're doing at 20, at 25. So give our ladies just your information, your Instagram, what things that you have coming up, how can we follow you, how can we read some of the things that you're doing.
All right. So for things that I have coming up, as far as acting, I was working on this horror film that I really had so much fun doing. It's called Skinwalker, I believe, and I'm not sure like if it's right now, but sooner, like in the very near future, going to film festivals something like that, and you can definitely check up and keep up with that. Also for Black History Month, I want to release like kind of starting a line of journals that I was working on a little bit earlier this month, so that will hopefully be coming out very soon as well. And you can go ahead and keep up with all of that and, just kind of stay tuned with me as well on my Facebook at Facebook. Instagram, all that stuff at Alejandra Stack, my name, ALEJANDRASTACK. And you can also keep up with my business, Kid Newsmaker, at all social medias at Kid Newsmaker. So just KID Kid News and EWS and then Maker MAKER.
Mhm.
And you can also purchase my book, Activate Your Activism, pretty much everywhere books are sold, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, pretty much everywhere. It's just called Activate Your Activism. So, yeah, I think that was everything. So, yeah.
All right. So Activate Your Activism is the name of your book. And we can find it everywhere on Amazon and most of the online platforms and everything.
Right.
Okay, absolutely. Alejandra, thank you so much for being here. I love
Thank
your
you for having
boldness.
me.
I love your boldness and your spirit. Never lose that. Okay. Never lose that. Never sacrifice yourself for anyone or anything. Make sure you stay grounded and work on your growth. That's the most important thing. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
All right. And you have a good day. Okay.
You too.
All right. Bye.